Hey everyone, welcome to another $1,000 strap search. I've got my $1,000 in singles here. I've already gone through them and I'm going to show you what I found. Thank you for finding me on this different day and time. My work schedule changed, so the days that I do these videos will change too. Hopefully it'll always be on Thursday or Friday that I get these out to you. Anyway, I've got my 1,000 in singles. I went through them. Let's talk about this week's tip. I just want to remind you guys, be nice to the tellers at the bank. If the tellers at the bank remember you and you are a nice person in general, they will think of you when they come across some neat bills. This is what the tellers gave me just because I am nice to them and they know that I am not there to make their life hard. One of them saved me this one here, a 1934A $10 bill. It's Kansas City, J is on there. This was straight from circulation, and they held this specifically for me because they know that I'm a collector. I always bring in fun stuff for them to see. So by being nice, I was able to get this. I was also able to get this 1969 $20 bill. It's got just a touch of dirt on it, but it doesn't have any major creases or anything. Little bit of something there, but other than that, this 1969 $20 bill is in pretty decent shape. And then they also saved this one for me, which was a 1963A $20 bill. 1963A Chicago series, but still fantastic condition on these bills. And like I said, this was simply because I follow my own advice of being nice. When you're at the bank, be nice to the tellers. Let them know what you're doing. Don't try to be sneaky. And you'd be surprised what they pull out for you, what they save, because this stuff would have all just gone straight into their mute pile to be sent back to the Federal Reserve and most likely shredded. Just another reason why I like paper money. There's less and less of it every day. Yes, they keep printing more of it, but it's the old stuff that we're looking for. All right, so for my $1,000 search, this is what I've got this week. Did find some trinaries, zeros, sixes, and eights on this particular one. Yes, I know if that 8 was a 6, not only would it be a binary, but it would have been a repeater. I am not that lucky. This one's 5s, 6s, and 8s. This one was interesting. It's 2s, 9s, and 6s. And it's just neat because you've got the 2 for the bookends and the 999666. When you flip it over, you still have the 999666. It's just one of those interesting bills like that. So I thought that was neat. Definitely going to be a keeper for me. This one is all 4s, 5s, and 6s. Yes, one off from a binary again, but still a trinary. 0s, 3s, and 7s on this particular note. 5s, 6s, and 8s on this one. 3s, 4s, and 5s. Once again, you've got the bookends. I've got 3 on the end. I've got 444, 555. Interesting note that way. And I did find some quads. This one's quad zeros. You can see the 4 zeros in the middle. I would have rather had it either at the beginning or the end, but you can't always choose what you find. That's just what I happen to stumble on. This one has quad 2s here. It has a 5th 2 in there as well, but quad 2s on this one. Quad 4s with a 5th 4 on it as well. Quad 4s on this one as well. And another quad 4s. Lots of quad 4s. Quad 6s. Not in the greatest of shape. Paper quality is good, but it's got a tear on the side here, so it's probably gone back. Quad 8s on this one. And this one has 5 7s. Now, I talked a little bit one time about the gas pump error, which is when the numbers and letters don't quite line up. This one also happens to be a trinary, 1s, 8s, and 7s. But whenever you get 4 or 5 7s in a row, or 1s because of the straight line, that's when you can really notice when there is a gas pump error. You see how those 7s start to go higher and higher and higher? They don't exactly form a straight line. It just becomes more obvious. Like I said, it doesn't make this note any more valuable because it's not a dramatic error, but it's just that much more noticeable versus these over here that are, well, that middle 7 is actually lower than the others. But still, it's just so much more noticeable when you've got this hard line to look across. Anyway, I did find the 1 5 of a kind here, 5 7s, and it allowed me to show you that. My stars, I did find one 2017 star note. All the rest, I believe, were from 2013. So these will go into the pile, and I'm getting close. I'll be doing my star search fairly soon because I've been pulling lots of stars. Once again, mycurrencycollection.com. That's the place that I will look up all my star notes, and you guys have seen what I've pulled in the past, so who knows, we could be looking at the next one. Anyway, here's the older ones. This is 1999. Great paper quality on this particular one. Also a 99. Also good quality on the paper. 1995 here from Minneapolis, an I note. A 1981. I mean, that bill's been around for some time. It is showing a little bit of wear on this. It's got a hard crease in the middle. Paper quality isn't the greatest, but I mean, this bill's been in circulation for almost 40 years. So that was that one. And then the oldest note I found right here, a 1969 from the D series, 1969D Chicago note. 1969 had quite a few different series. I think they went all the way to E, if I'm remembering correctly. But yeah, to find anything from the 60s in circulation is always a good pull. So that was my 69D. So that's what I found this week. And I will just slide this out of the way. I did start off by showing you guys a 10 and 220s that I got this week from the tellers, who were kind enough to save stuff for me because they know I'd appreciate it. And they didn't want to see little bits of history get destroyed. So 20, 20, 10, that's 50. I figured, why not pull out a $50 bill? I haven't shown a $50 bill in a while. This particular $50 bill is from 1929. I can zoom in right there. You can see a series of 1929. At a glance, you'll know that it's a small head $50 bill, and I'm sure a lot of you see that there's a chunk missing there, and it's torn there, and the bottom isn't the greatest. There's even a little bit of writing on it here. So overall, not the greatest for this particular bill, but I bought this bill at a live auction for face value. I got this for $50. So I can't lose on it. It's still $50. Technically, I guess I can, because this is not a Federal Reserve note. What you are missing on the top here, it says national currency. This is the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago. So it's a Federal Reserve bank note. Okay, so not a Federal Reserve note, a Federal Reserve Bank note. This was guaranteed by the Federal Reserve Bank of Chicago. Each of the Federal Reserves would put deposit down, and they were the ones to guarantee the value of these particular dollars. Chicago, of course, G, so they've got the G on there, just like we're used to seeing now. But yeah, 1929 $50 bill. I got it for face value because the condition isn't the greatest, but it fills a hole in my typeset, I guess you'd call it, because that's what I like to have. I try to get one of everything. Considering that I got this for face value and how much damage there is to it, I thought it would be really interesting to use this as a great example for showing price values of my book. So I bust out the book and I check out, where do we have it? I'll flip over one more page here, and we've got Federal Reserve banknotes. They start with the $5 bill, and of course they get all the way to the $100 bill. I've shown one of those in the past. But there's the $50. That's the one that I was just showing. And the $50 bill from Chicago. That's it right there. They printed 300,000 of those bills. That's it. Okay? 300,000 of these is all that was ever in existence. Let's line this up. Now, like I said, 1929, and you can zoom in on this one here. See, series of 1929, and obviously series 1929. That's the bill, the real deal. And like I said, when we look at G, we can see that they number printed 300,000. That's it. And then you look at the next column. In very good 8, it's worth $80. Tell me how that makes any sense to you at all. One of 300,000 from 1929, and in very good 8, this book claims $80. I would call that severely undervalued. For me to get this at face value, I was quite happy about that. I'd point out that it's a low number, but any of these is a low number. It does start off with 3 zeros, so this is like number 69,175. 69,000 out of 300,000. 300,000. In the condition that this one is in, imagine how much worse they were and how many were sent back and shredded. So there are just not that many of these out there. Yeah, it's in horrible shape. Yeah, it's got writing on it, but what does yours look like? I got it because I didn't have one, and the price was definitely right at face value. So that's what I've got for you guys this week. I hope you enjoyed the fact that not all of my stuff is mint, but some of it just does fill holes, especially when there was only 300,000 made. All right, guys, if you learned anything new, go ahead and hit that like button. If you like what you see and you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe, and I'll be back next week with some more goodies. I'll see you then. Bye-bye.